We are Group 7. The topic being presented is stigmatization of mental health, which is reflected in Joker, the movie we chose.
I'm going to talk about the summary of the literary work. The story starts with the protagonist Arthur Fleck, who is a struggling clown suffering from multiple illnesses, working for a company called Ha Ha's, finds it really difficult to make a living with a low paying job. Isolated, bullied, and disregarded by society, eventually kills one of the most well known employees of the wine industry, and a city-wide riot takes place. I'm going to continue about the introduction of the topic. Mental illness is seen as a taboo even in the 21st century. People who suffer with mental illnesses are expected to live in society as if they do not suffer from anything.
So I'm going to be continuing on what Daksh had mentioned. The stigma does nothing but aggravate the condition of the mental health patients. Receiving no sympathy from those around them worsens their state to an extent where they feel hopeless and ashamed of themselves. In turn, this causes them to feel like they shouldn't belong in society, and a sense of isolation envelops them as the time progresses. And asking for help feels like a tedious task for them, as it is they're outcasted by society, and asking for help seems like a much more of a tedious task than what normal people would, and they start feeling themselves viewing themselves as a burden. Life opportunities also look very narrow for them, as it is due to their mental condition. They do not get work opportunities or any regular opportunities that others would get. And people believe that those with mental health issues should stay with others with mental health issues and shouldn't be living with others in society. So all this causes people with suffering from mental health issues to feel completely outcasted, to feel like a whole different being in themselves, and they don't feel like they belong into the regular society. I'll be continuing with how the literary work that we've chosen addresses the topic that we have. And the movie Joker presents a lot of different scenes that showcase how mental health patients have to live and what they have to live through. An instance of this is in the beginning of the movie when Arthur Fleck is in the bus. He tries to make a child laugh who seems sad by making funny faces. The child's mother, seeing this, looks visibly disturbed and reprimands Arthur for bothering the child. This is when Arthur starts uncontrollably laughing due to his condition, and on seeing this, he gives a card to the mother, stating why he has this issue, why he's laughing, and why the sudden bouts of laughter occur, and it's not the intention of the reaction he wants to give. So this despite knowing the issue of Arthur, the mother still looks visibly disturbed, treats him as a threat, and tells the child to sit down. So this shows how, despite knowing what the person is suffering through, the lack of empathy that the mother shows and treating Arthur like an outcast in society is something that visibly causes disturbance to Arthur in the following scenes. Another example is in the subway. A woman was getting harassed by three drunk Wayne employees, high-ranking Wayne employees, and on seeing the visible interaction, Arthur gets aggravated, and in turns, and anxiety causes him to start laughing. He begins laughing uncontrollably because of the condition, and in turn, it catches the attention of the three employees who come in and start beating him up, mocking him for his clown attire, as that is his work attire, and doesn't make an effort to even look at why he was laughing. And this treatment, this harassment and abuse, leads Arthur to shoot the three men dead, and in turn snapping and losing his sanity. So both these scenes have something very common to each other. Arthur involuntarily laughing and not able to show the reaction he truly wants to show, and B, where in the first scene the mother, despite knowing the situation, isn't able to empathize with Arthur and show some sort of acceptance that yes, the person is a human being like me, just that he suffers from something else. So such an understanding wasn't shown by the mother and viewed Arthur as a threat or as an abnormal being. In the second scene, it showcases how the three men didn't even bother to look at what Arthur was suffering, in turn mocked his condition and beat him up, causing their own deaths. So what we see in both these in both these scenes are how people with mental conditions are not able to at times express how they really want to express or what they really want to express, and in turn getting outcasted and outshunned by society, since they don't fit by the normal norms of society. And this causes them to feel helpless, lonely, isolated, and sometimes not able to function in the regular manner that they're supposed to. And such is the reason why social pressures and social expectations on mental health or mental illness suffering patients are very harsh and causes much more issues and much more harm than good.
Uh, to summarize what my colleagues Pranav and Dakshit told, I would say that mental health stigma should be avoided in this generation, and rather we should try to understand them and treat them as fellow human beings. Because the more we start to alienize them or outcast them, it'll be the harm for them as well as us. They would start behaving more, as in the case of Arthur Flex, how we have seen, because of the surrounding, because of his environment, the way he had acted more uh, angrily and everything. So we should not do that and try to uh, normalize the situation and try to be more friendly with them and try to treat them as a fellow human beings. Thank you.